There is now a tool that allows you to import tens of thousands of leads into a spreadsheet with a ton of different information on them completely for free. So in today's video, I'm going to show you how to use Clay to find people in your target market and then enrich them to eventually send out email campaigns to these prospects. So without further ado, let's get into it. All right, so I'm in a software right now called Clay. If you've watched my videos before, you're probably familiar with it because it is pretty much all I use. And it is this incredibly powerful sales prospecting tool that allows you to find, enrich, and personalize outbound to thousands of prospects at one time and personalize these emails to levels that are not usually possible. However, it also has a really cool feature, which is it allows you to import pretty much your entire total addressable market, or TAM, into a table completely for free. And I'm going to show you how to do that right now. The first thing is the industry in which the company resides. You'll see when we do an import that LinkedIn provides several different industries to choose from. So you want to find out specifically what industry your target audience resides in. The second thing is how many employees work at the company. This is a very good indicator for how large the company is, how much money they're making, etc. And it's another good way to quickly figure out generally who is in your target audience. The third thing is your company type, which is, are they a private company? Do they have to be public? Are they a nonprofit? What categorization of company is your target audience in? The fourth thing is, are there any specific keywords within that company's description that you're often looking for? For example, if your company is in fintech or works with fintech, maybe you want that word in their description on LinkedIn. You'll see why this is important when we're actually doing the import. And fifth, of course, is where is the company? Where is it located? Is it in the United States? Is it worldwide? Is it in English-speaking countries? Is it in Spanish-speaking countries? You want to find out exactly where your ideal prospects are located. So I'm going to come up with an example audience right now, and I'm going to show you how to import that audience into Clay. So in this case, I'm going to look for advertising companies with 11 to 200 employees in the United States and have more than 100 followers on LinkedIn. So the first three of these things we can find out completely for free, and I'm going to show you how to do that. First, we're going to go to New Table, and we're going to click on this Find Companies from LinkedIn source. Each one of these is a different source. A source essentially allows you to import companies or people from a certain technology or an API and import that information into Clay. So in this case, we're going to go to Find Companies from LinkedIn, and you can see there are a ton of settings to start from. So the first thing we're going to look at is the industry. I said before, we're looking for advertising companies, so we're just going to stick with advertising services, and we're going to keep this blank for excluding an industry. And we're going to go down to here now and do 11 to 200 employees. We're going to leave the company types blank. I don't really care whether they are privately or publicly held. We're going to leave the United States as our location as well. Okay, so now that we're previewing the companies, you can see that there are 38,500 companies that meet this criteria. You can have 50,000 companies in a Clay table at any given time. And so you might be telling yourself, okay, what if my target audience is more than 50,000 companies? I'm going to show you how to do that in just a second, but in this case, it's not a problem. We are going to import all 38,000 companies into a new table by just clicking this button. And as you can see here, it costs us absolutely nothing to import their basic profile into a spreadsheet. This is completely free to do. And we will click continue, and we will wait for these companies to import into our table. All right, so now that our companies are imported, you can see here we have 38,000 companies that fit the criteria we were looking for. However, if you recall, the last criteria in our list was that they need to have at least 100 LinkedIn followers. So in order to do that, all we have to do is go to Add Column and click Add Enrichment. What an enrichment is in Clay is pretty much a way to either find data about a company, format data about a company, or personalize outbound to a company using AI. So in this case, we're just going to be finding data about our company. And you can see in suggested enrichments, we have enrich company. The LinkedIn URL auto-populates when you click on enrich company. And all you have to do next is continue to add fields. And in this case, we want to figure out how many followers they have on LinkedIn. So we'll click on follower count, and we will run the first 10 rows. All right, so as you can see here, for all of the companies in which we're able to find results, we can go ahead and get their follower count now. So now that we have their follower count, how do we qualify each one of these programmatically to make sure that for 38,000 rows, we only have companies with more than 100 followers? So what we're going to do is we're going to click Add Column, and we're going to go to Checkbox. And you might be thinking, I don't want to individually check 38,000 companies, and I have a solution for you. So we're going to click Edit Column, and we're going to go to Formula. And then after that, we're going to go to this little Use AI button with the coffee on it. And we're going to go ahead and say if, and then click slash, and we're going to go down right to where our column was and say if follower count is greater than 99, then check the box. We're going to generate our formula. After we check our output to make sure it's right, you'll see that for every company with more than 100 LinkedIn followers, we now have our box checked. We can call this LinkedIn followers check. From there, we're able to actually filter out any companies that don't fit our criteria. So we can go to filter, we can click LinkedIn followers check, and only keep the companies where that is checked. Now, it's important to note that using any of these integrations does cost credits, which in turn costs money in Clay. while it's completely free to import a list of your entire target audience, when you're actually using enrichments like this, it's going to cost you credits. There are a ton of things you can use different enrichments for. A couple examples being finding the work emails of the people that we're listing out, finding different pieces of company data, or even writing snippets to put into emails for personalized AI messages. So now that I've shown you this example, really quickly, what if there are more than 50,000 companies in my ideal customer profile? Because as I mentioned before, Clay only allows 50,000 companies in one table. So what if there are more? So this is how you have every single company, no matter how big your ICP is, in your Clay account. First, you're gonna click New Table. We're gonna go to Find Companies from LinkedIn again. And let's just say we want all of the advertising companies. Doesn't matter where, doesn't matter how big they are. We just do that. You'll see we have 50,000 companies that we can import into this table. So let's go ahead and do that. All right, so you can see here we have all 50,000 companies that have now been imported. So how do we exclude these companies to create a new table with 50,000 completely new ones? So we're going to go to New Table. We're going to click Find Companies again, but we're going to go to this new Exclude tab, which allows you to exclude companies that are already present in one of your Clay tables in the new table. So if we go to Select Clay Table here, we can use this Companies table to exclude 50,000 different companies from our current search. This allows us to select advertising services again, while excluding these 50,000 companies from before. So as you can probably realize by now, you can pretty much just do this infinitely until all of the companies in your ICP are in a Clay account, and you can then do all the enriching that your heart desires. Alrighty, and that is it. If you'd like to try Clay out, I have a link in the description that gets you 3,000 free credits so you can toy around with the awesome enrichments. And I have a ton of other videos both on my channel and on Clay's YouTube channel that can walk you through how to actually use these enrichments to write personalized emails to thousands of contacts at scale. So hopefully this is helpful, and happy prospecting.